Yeah, my name is Yep, and I'm freezing. Anyway, I don't like winter too much, and I wish I was in a hammock. I had the pleasure of spending some time in a hammock a few years ago in India for 3 months, and it gave me time to stand back, just to help me reflect. Anyway, here I am all cold again. But anyway, now that I've started in that vein, one thing I remembered about being in India, I was very aware of, that I was there because of slavery. It's just that simple. The currency was worth more because of the slave value, You can hire them for $1 a day, basically. Okay? They're commodities. It's the way it is. But, I'm back here, I'm cold, I'm reflecting again. A lot of people are going to die this winter. We are sending armies out to countries to chop up and blow up and whatever, and we haven't got the armies to defeat cold in this country. It's got to make you think. A lot of children are going to be cold and shivering, and they're going to be aware of the stress of their parents this winter. And we don't have the armies to help them. We kind of need a love army, and I think that's what's rising around the world. But as an adult, I've read enough, like a lot of adults, to know certain variables when we entertain certain packages of thought. And we can concern ourselves like with World War II and the build-up, in the 1930s, and what was happening with socialism, just what was happening with hierarchy, with class, what was happening with the workers of the world. So many variables, with poverty, class, the same old, same old. But we also, where what it led to, and 58 million killed, and for what? Here we are today, chopping up our planet, chopping up our rainforests, allowing old people to die in cold, in countries that spend billions on weapons, okay, I can't use our armies, the army belongs to me, and so does the courts, so do the schools. I used to believe that, but anyway, that doesn't seem to be the case, and we're up against so much. And we're kind of 1939 all over again, we're 1930s all over again, but most people have forgotten their history. It's been replaced with wrestling and tits and cocks and cars and houses, and the paint on your front door, the Volvo, the bigger Volvo, the smaller Volvo. Honestly, just the amount of schizophrenic bubbles out there, what I call pandemic schizophrenia. The fight is that big, okay? It's going to take so many people, it's going to take intellectual, it's going to take the heavyweights of intellectualism to bring this chaos back on track. It's a fact, okay? I'm part of that flag. It's so important in this day and age that we fly that flag, especially in the face of pseudo-intellectualism, okay? And that's the root of everything, okay? That's the root of everything. And, we've got to get into the macro, into the exegesis of what's going on. The pseudo-intellectual has brought the house down, okay? The cowboy builder has brought the entire house down, okay? And the cowboy economist, the cowboy judge, the cowboy army, the cowboy police force, the cowboy government, the cowboy spiritual leaders of the church, cowboys, they brought the temple down, they brought the house down, they brought us down inside, okay? The entire social paradigm out there is constructed around greed. This is the Greed Holocaust. Greed has caused a holocaust of ecosystems, of animal welfare, of human welfare, a greed holocaust that dwarfs the holocaust that happened in the 1930s up to 1945. There's a holocaust, a greed holocaust, and we have to take responsibility. And yes, we can find some who are extremely accountable, but we all have to be accountable, not the kids, the adults. Our fights are so big, and that's why intellectualism is needed. The intellectual, not the reactionary mind, it's not the visceral dog, the self-righteous dogmatic mind, not the business laissez-faire dogmatic mind. Okay? You have no idea what's coming. You really don't what you're up against in the next 50 years, okay? We have to wave our flags and our banners and out, respect the Saints' polls and what's happening, and with the 99%ers. But you have forgotten how violent the upper classes are in what you're up against. Now, we will win in the long run. The intellectuals and the refined teddy bears of the world will win. All the hippies, all the people who want love and sensitivity, we will win. But we have to remove a very dangerous element, okay, that's schizo to the extreme, okay, and it has walked, like the Nazis believed themselves to be that order of people, they believed themselves to be that refined, solipsistic version of man, okay, and now we have these economists who believe they are the top of the food chain, the top of the Darwinian chain, the social Darwinists, and these people who talk about manifest destiny. It's their right to rule, to reign, and by any means necessary. They are so dangerous, okay? And they're the fundamentalists of extremism. They are bringing the extremes to our planets. And they've taken kids out of schools and turned them into Marines, and they turned some of them into Marines that wear uniforms like they are called accountants and lawyers and judges and policemen. They are the Marines too. They all work for the blue blood, so to speak. Okay, but the blue blood are about to bring unprecedented chaos right now around Europe, okay? This is important. They are continuing to implement their own laissez-faire policies, okay? We can see this in process. We can even see it through the obfuscated window of the monkey BBC News by just looking into it, okay? In Greece, they're placing in as a prime minister, an economist, a fucking economist, one of their boys, okay? One of their laissez-faire Harvard, bloody Chicago School of Economic boys, okay? This is what's going on. All over this, they are going to continue to implement their policies, okay? And what they're going to do essentially, in a metaphor, is they're going to basically close the lower decks of the Titanic. Okay, this is what's going on. They haven't got enough compounds and enough materials on the planet to continue compounding the materials needed to carry their system. So they're going to drop, we don't need these 3 billion people anymore, they're surplus. But anyway, we are up against it, okay? We are up against it, and we've got to do it with peace and love and intellectualism, okay? But it's going to come to the streets, and it's going to come with passion, and bring out your wheelchairs, bring out your granny chairs, bring out your Zimmer frames. It's all building to the day that's coming, and it might be a Tuesday, and it might start at 12:15, who knows? Anyway, right now I'm cold and thinking with the people of the planet, peace and lovely.